Donald Trump calls Attorney General political hack. In testimony, says fraud trial is election interference by Benzinga on Monday. Former President Donald Trump took the witness stand to share testimony on the business dealings of the Trump Organization in a civil fraud trial. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than. Here's a look at the second half of Monday's testimony and the highlights from what was said and what happens next. What happened? A civil fraud trial against Trump continued on Monday, which came after Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, who are co-defendants in the case, testified last week. Similar to the early part of Monday's trial, testimony from Trump after a break in action included Judge Arthur Engoron telling Trump to answer the questions and get to the point instead of ranting. A question about real estate valuations on Trump-owned properties included comments on China, Russia and the task of keeping Americans safe while being president, according to a report from NBC News. Trump testified that valuations on several of his properties were too high in previous financial statements, including the Trump Tower in New York City. There's a disclaimer clause, so if there is a mistake, you don't get sued by the Attorney General's office, Trump said. Ahead of the trial, Engoron shot down a notion from Trump that the disclaimer clause made the statements worthless, as people needed to do their own work on valuations. Trump took on New York Attorney General Letitia James in a portion of his testimony. I think she is a political hack, Trump said of James. Trump said the trial is a political witch hunt of which James should be ashamed. The former president asked to read a letter during his testimony, but was not granted the ability to do so. During a lunch break, Trump's lawyer Alina Habba said Engoron was unhinged and had predetermined a guilty sentence for Trump. Habba quoted Engoron, who said, "I don't want to hear what he has to say about Trump" earlier in the day, referring to the former president's rants and refusal to answer questions clearly. Back in court after a lunch break, Trump again ranted about the trial being a disgrace, saying the trial has baseless claims and comes as people are leaving the state of New York due to murders on the streets. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than. It's election interference, Trump added. We have a very hostile judge. I don't have a jury. I wanted a jury. Related link. Donald Trump Jr. Eric Trump testify in civil fraud case. Shift blame to accountants. What's next? Trump was excused from the stand on Monday after giving testimony. The defense deferred on their cross-examination, suggesting Trump will be back on the stand later in the trial. Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump is scheduled to take the stand Wednesday, November 8. Prior to entering the courtroom Monday, Trump told reporters the trial is ridiculous and said he is being attacked ahead of the 2024 election. It's very unfair. But in the meantime, the people of the country understand it. They see it, and they don't like it, Trump said. They don't like it because it's political warfare, as you would call it. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than. New York Attorney General Letitia James is seeking $250 million in penalties against Trump and his businesses and a ban on the former president being able to conduct business in New York in the future. The civil fraud trial could last until December 22, 2023, according to a previous statement by the judge. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than. DWAC price action. Digital World acquisition, NASDAQ. DWAC. Shares gained 1.48% Monday to $15.07. The SPAC, which is set to take Trump Media and Technology Group public, is often volatile around events related to the former president. Read next. Trump and Biden remain tied in 2024 election. Poll photo via Shutterstock.